synthesis happens in the mitochondrial membrane. The endoplasmic reticulum in the Golgi system is where the vesicles butt off to go to the surface to spit out products that are meant to be exported. So the membrane structure is a key thing in terms of the function of how that works. So we have a variety of different kinds of membranes that we can examine. They're not all built the same. So here's, these are eukaryotic, let's say human membranes. On the bottom there's bacterial membrane for comparison. Let's look at the gross content in terms of proteins and lipids and carbohydrates. Erythrocyte, that's a fancy name for the red blood cell. We have our hemoglobin circulating in the blood. Well, if you look at the membrane of it, the plasma membrane of that is almost half protein. Maybe it's probably a surprising number to you because you think membranes have a little bit less lipid than protein. The ratio is 1 to 1. Lipid 1.1. Let's contrast that with myelin. Myelin is the membrane system surrounding nerve function. A major nerve would be wrapped in concentric layers of myelin membrane. Its main job is to protect the nerve cell, and specifically to electrically insulate it. It's kind of like the wires in our houses are not just bare copper wires. They're wrapped in. There's insulation around the outside that keeps it from short circuiting. Same with our nerve cells. We want them not to short circuit. We wrap them in this membrane. The myelin membrane, its main job being electrical insulation. It doesn't need much protein. It's only 18% protein and almost 80% lipid. If you look in contrast to that situation, to the mitochondrial inner membrane, this is the membrane where ATP is made. There's a lot of machinery buried in that membrane that's responsible for synthesizing ATP. That membrane is 3/4 protein and 1/4 lipid. So the amount of protein versus the amount of lipid varies depending on the function of the membrane. Just item of interest, the mitochondrial inner membrane looks